Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I'm answering a question about click depth. How important is it to SEO? What's inspiring me to answer this question today? This is from the Reddit SEO board. This question says, as I understand it, Google likes pages that are 3 clicks in depth or less from the home page, meaning you can get to a page in less than 3 clicks, or 3 clicks or less. So if you have a lot of blog posts attached to a site, do you think you need a link to blog categories from the home page? Okay, so this person goes on to elaborate as well. Their main concern is that Google search is pulling by topic for search intent with 3 main silos per site. And this person says, if I don't have a way for the blog post to be 3 clicks from the homepage, do they still get crawled? All right, if the site has 3 main services at the homepage as a sub menu of like services, would that count as 3 clicks deep? Each service has its own page and sub-linked supporting blog posts. These blog posts would now be 4 clicks from the top for Google to crawl the text unless I find a way such as adding categories of blog posts near the footer. All right, so this question, primarily there's some things in here that I could address, but let's address like the main thing about whether click depth is a factor as far as Google. So in this example, what this person's saying is the homepage, that's level 1. And then the first click from the homepage would be like a services page where it has all your services, and then maybe the next level down, the second click would be sub services. Maybe there's sub services of that. And then I think what they're saying is there's blog posts that are down at the 4th level. And what they're concerned is the site architecture of this website going to be a problem when it comes to SEO. Now this relates to a video, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, we were talking about this. And basically this is like what some people call siloing. But basically the site architecture is, at the top level you have, your home page and your different, pages that spread out from there about services, contact, and then, maybe blog, whatever else you have at the top. And then things kind of branch down from that. Now, when people talk about site architecture, when they're talking about siloing, most of the time what they're talking about is they're passing some of the link equity, or they're passing some sort of page rank from the supporting blog posts into the service pages that they want to have rank. And their concern is if the pages are not less than 3 clicks away from the home page, is that going to affect SEO? So here's really what happens in reality most of the time. Google is looking at a set of the best pages that satisfy a query. So you might have more than one page on your website that satisfies a query for that. Whether or not it's 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, 4 clicks from the home page it's almost irrelevant, because one thing that I saw this week, and I've seen this before, I've set up a lot of sites where there are kind of sub pages of main pages, and in this particular client, I was doing research in their particular field, in their particular market, and a lot of pages that seem to be doing really well, they are definitely like 4 clicks from the home page. The way that their particular site architecture is set up, uh, some of these competitors that are doing well, they have pages that are definitely more than 3 clicks away from the homepage. Doesn't stop Google from ranking them uh, high. Now, in sites that I've set up, it's very rare that you have a page that's like 4 clicks away from the home page, or it's going to take more than 3 clicks to get somewhere. I think this is the thing that started in user experience design, where people would talk about UX, user experience, and they would say that you should be able to get to any page within 3 clicks. And I think a lot of it is kind of by means of the game of telephone where things get repeated a lot. I think this has become kind of advice for SEO. I've never seen personally any evidence that Google looks at anything besides the content on the page. Is this the best page for the search? And then the link profile, and then the actual user experience of the page, not looking at the site architecture necessarily, though that can help. I mean, you want to have a well-organized site architecture, but having something that's a long click depth away, I've seen enterprise sites that have pages that are 4 clicks away from the home page, and they do just fine. I think this is something that has gotten repeated so much that it's kind of taken for fact. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have to have the right content on the page. You do have to have links pointing at that page. The site architecture of your website needs to be somewhat organized, and you must have, somewhat of a plan about it. And you got to have a good looking site, performs fast, loads fast, doesn't look like trash. But I have never seen a case where click depth is a reason why a page didn't rank. What happens a lot of the times too, if you have more than one page that can satisfy the query, a lot of times Google will end up picking the home page, or it will pick the most top level page that seems to satisfy that query. And I believe that the reason why that happens isn't necessarily about site architecture. I think usually, from what I've seen, and if somebody has a different experience, please share it down in the comments. But most of the time, it has to do with the top level pages like the home page, and maybe like your services page usually have the most links, external links, coming to it. Now, if you have a page that's 3 levels down, 2 levels down, 4 levels down, or whatever, and the content on that particular page matches what Google seems to be ranking already, and it has some links coming into it, the click depth doesn't seem to really matter all that much. But those other things have to be in place. I don't see a lot of evidence that click depth is anything beyond a user experience issue. And yes, that's totally important. I absolutely agree with that. You don't want to make people hunt for stuff. As far as what this person asked about, will those pages get crawled if they're 4 clicks away? Ideally, you would have an XML sitemap that you would submit to Google Search Console, and that is just an automatically generated list of pages, blog posts, and other types of pages on your site that Google would go and crawl on a regular basis in order to get those into the index. And also, ideally, you would be leveraging internal linking to each of the pages, to where if Google crawls any page on your site, it's also going to follow those hyperlinks into other pages on your site and index them, just in case they're not in your XML sitemap. I hope that answers this question. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here every single day making videos on SEO, and I want to thank all the new subscribers we've had this month. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll be here tomorrow with a new video. Until next time, peace.